Welcome to Baking with Frank. Frank Rush was a baker at the turn of the 20th century at the Uffelman Baking Company in Cincinnati, and then at his own bakery in Newport, Kentucky. Frank was also my great-grandfather. Through his handwritten batch-sized recipe book, I'm breaking down his recipes and getting to know him better. I'm Tom Mattingly, and this is Baking with Frank. All right, welcome back to Baking with Frank. It is the week before New Year's. It's 2 days until New Year's. So, of course, we're gonna make Frank's New Year's cake. Well, we're gonna make a variation on Frank's New Year's cake because Frank's New Year's cake is sugar, butter, flour, and lard. No eggs, no cream. It just sounds like something I would throw away. So what we're actually going to make is a Greek New Year's cake, which is pretty close, right? It adds some yogurt in and adds some flavoring in, which we knew we would have to do anyway, but stay with me here. So the first thing we're gonna do is separate 6 eggs and whisk them, if you can see here, and whisk them until they are a meringue. So they're gonna whisk for a good minute here. But we gotta separate out the whites. Yes, that was shell that just went somewhere. It does not appear to be in with the whites. So we're gonna call that a win. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this now. But for the moment, I'm gonna sit it right here. I'm gonna get another bowl. Hold that thought. All right, so there actually was some thought to this beforehand that I then forgot. So there we go. Hey, there's the first egg. So we're safe on that. Yes, I know. I'm gonna break them right in here. All right, so that's 6 eggs separated. We're going to add in a pinch. We're gonna add in a pinch of salt, which I'm gonna call 2 shakes, that much. And we are gonna whisk these until they become glossy peaks and look like meringues. I'm not gonna make you listen to that. Well, friends, we've reached another one of those moments where sound didn't work, but we took the time to whisk to meringue. But then this required going into a separate bowl. So, whipping them to a meringue took about 5 minutes with the electric mixer. Transfer those into a clean bowl, use them later. This is if you watch the Great British Baking Show, this is where they always put the bowl over their head and show how the egg whites are just standing in the bowl without falling out. So that's where you want to get with that. Clearly, it took me a hot minute to get all of this out of the bowl. So, then we took out the butter and decided to cream that with the sugar. I had softened the butter in the microwave because I clearly had forgotten to do it earlier. That's why it looks a little melty here, but it worked out just fine. So whipped the butter along with the sugar until light and frothy. I'm not sure what that really means because neither one of these is a liquid, so getting frothy doesn't seem to be a thing. But in any case, we jump forward here to the butter whisking. The sugar starts to go in, and magic happens between sugar and butter. This is when I usually know it's going to taste pretty darn good if these two are going in at this type of quantity. All right, so now the egg yolks start to go in. So we divided up the eggs, saved the whites, made the meringue with them, and now we're putting those egg yolks into the sugar and butter mixture. It's going to make this a really, really rich cake. End up with the texture of a pound cake. A lot of the whipping going in here, so We just assume that they all get in there, right? Okay, good. All right, now comes some of the flavoring. So this is, the recipe actually said the zest of 2 oranges. I did 1, and then the half cup of orange juice that's freshly squeezed from those oranges. For me, I'm not a guy that likes an orange flavored thing. I'd like oranges just fine, but orange flavored things not so much. This turned out to be just the perfect amount. So quite happy with how that turned out. So then I added in a 7-ounce cup of Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, just to give it a little boost. And all of the vanilla. This really gives it a really nice flavor, texture, all of the good things that we look for. So then we jump over to the flour. This is self-rising flour. It's not something, self-rising flour, not something I typically use. Usually it's the all-purpose flour, but that's what this one called for, so that's what we used. You can see it got a little messy there with the scale. But add in the flour, and the way that this is supposed to go is you add in 1/3 of the flour, then 1/3 of the meringue mixture, and per the instruction, mix them in by hand. I clearly missed that instruction because I just continued to use the mixer. It turned out just fine, so it probably would have been a little lighter if I hadn't done this, but we are where we are, right? When it's still delicious, it's still okay. Might not be the traditional, but it probably is closer to what Frank would have made. So we're gonna go with that, at least make that assumption. So in goes part of the flour, in goes part of the egg, white, and that gets stirred up, and then you repeat that another 2 times. All right, jumping ahead again. So clearly this made a very thick batter, but pulled out one of the classics there, one of the original bundt pans that I picked up in an auction years ago. Used my favorite baking spray, of course, because, greasing and flouring kind of sucks. So we'll do it the easy way. And in we go, big globs at a time. Do that until it's completely full. Level it out if it needs leveled out. This one clearly needed leveled out. And into the oven. And just for giggles, here's the full pan. It was, it must have weighed about 4 pounds, but good in the end. Oh, there it is. She sure is pretty. So I also decided to just do a quick glaze with some powdered sugar, a little bit of water, a little bit of vanilla over the top of it. That's what's making it shiny. But here's the kick. Cut a piece out, see how she went. That looks delicious. Let's give her a go. Lee, you want to try this?
I do want to try it.
Here, have a bite. That is stupid.
Stupid good.
Say hi.
Stupid good.
Stupid good. All right. Happy New Year's, all. See you next year.